Chapter 12. Aaron. Sunday morning rolls around before I'm ready. After the talk with my mom, I spent a lot of time thinking about my life, my goals, and, of course, how I am going to keep my grades from slipping. I didn't tell her that Coach said I needed a tutor. No need to add the additional worry on her shoulders. And tomorrow, I'll ask Mr. Hagar who he might recommend. I grab my nicest shirt and slacks, check my appearance in the mirror, and then head down for breakfast. "Good morning. I wasn't expecting you out of bed so early," my mother says as I enter the kitchen. She's standing at the stove flipping pancakes, but at least she looks a little more awake today and a little less stressed. "Where are you going dressed so nicely?"
"Church. A friend invited me, and I figured, what the heck? Couldn't make things worse, right?"
"No. Actually, I think that's great that you're going. We should get back into the habit as a family. If this accident of your father's has taught me nothing else, it's that we never know what can happen or when, and we need to live each day to the fullest, but also in a way that's pleasing to God. I'm sorry I haven't done a better job at that." Her words throw me for a loop, and I shake my head. It was not my intention to make her feel worse.
"You've been great, Mom."
"I've been a good mom, but I haven't been a good model for a Christian mom. But that's going to change. Today. I think Molly and I will go to church too." She loads up a few pancakes on a plate and hands it to me. Then she disappears, but when I hear her calling Molly's name, I know she's waking my sister and getting her ready for church. I take the plate to the table and eat without focusing on the food much. At some point, my mother and sister join me, but most of the breakfast is silent. Then we load into the car and head to church. Once there, I wave goodbye to them and head to the high school room. There aren't many people there yet, but Isaac sees me from across the room, waves, and hurries over.
"You made it. I'm glad. It's been a weekend, and while I'm not sure this is going to help, I figured it couldn't hurt."
His forehead wrinkles as if he's trying to decide if I'm kidding or not. Then he shakes his head and puts a hand on my shoulder.
"Well, whatever got you here, I'm glad. It's been a while since I've been at church. Anything new going on? We got a new youth pastor. I think you'll like him. Come on, I'll introduce you."
Isaac leads me to a smaller room off the main room we're in. It's got a cozy atmosphere with an electric fireplace, couches, and a few tables. The fire isn't real, and there's no heat coming from it, but somehow it's comforting. A man who doesn't look much older than us sits on one of the couches staring into the fake flame.
"Fire is an interesting concept, isn't it?"
he asks as we approach. His tone is melancholy, but he turns and smiles at us.
"Isaac, good to see you. Who's your friend?"
"This is Aaron Richards. He's the quarterback of our football team," Isaac says.
"Ah, yes, I've heard about you. Welcome, Aaron. I'm Pastor Travis."
He sticks out his hand and I shake it, wondering what he's heard about me.
"What did you mean about fire being an interesting concept?" I ask. "Well, fire keeps us warm and gives us light, but if you touch it, it can burn you."
His words trigger a vague memory of 10th grade English class when we read the book Fahrenheit 451. The teacher spent an entire class period talking about the symbolism of the fire, but I didn't really pay attention. Books aren't really my thing.
"But it's also more than that," he continues. "God uses fire to refine people and show what's in their hearts. It's easy to put on a front when everything is going good, but it's how we react when hard times hit that really shows the measure of our faith." "What do you mean?"
I don't know if this guy is deliberately being vague or if I'm just not grasping what he's saying, but I feel a little lost.
"Did you know I was supposed to be drafted to the NFL?"
I can't help the chuff that escapes my mouth. The guy definitely doesn't look like a football player. He's not scrawny or anything, but he's pretty average.
What? Yep. I played in college and was expected to be a second or third round draft pick. What happened? I ask. A few weeks before the draft, I was in a car accident. I had a bad case of whiplash that actually ended my football career.
I blink at him, not sure what to say to that, but thankfully he continues.
When I got the news, I thought my world was over. Pulled away from everyone. My family, my girlfriend, God, and spent a good year drunk and depressed. Then one day, God showed me that football didn't have to be my life. That I still had a purpose and it was more important than running out on a field.
I don't know how he knows, but it's like the guy is seeing right into my soul. It's an unnerving experience, to say the least. But before I can say anything more, Travis looks at his watch and announces that it's almost time for the service. Something tells me I'm going to have to ask him more questions later.